Okay, this will be our last tutorial video for Project 3, Part 1. And this is images 6 through 9 of your photo manipulation. Now again, please read the directions. You want to start with image 2. You're not starting with the most recent image. You're going back again to your retouched, color-corrected color image. So image 2. So you're in Photoshop, open image 2. Oh, the color, it's so vibrant. Okay. Images 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 different images. You're going to play around with the filter gallery. This is more fun. So, Photoshop has filters. If any of you play electric guitar, these are sort of like effects pedals that you stomp on and get a different sound. We're going to go to, and there are a ton of them. There are so many filters built in here. And you can get more filters. There are free ones. There are ones you pay for. You can program your own. It's been built into Photoshop since very early on that you can program your own. I highly recommend. You can do all kinds of kooky things like spherize your image like that, or twirl it. I highly recommend you just play around with these. Play around with things in the filter folder. Try them out. What I do want you to look at is the filter gallery. So these are different effects that you can apply to the image. So this first one is colored pencil. Makes it look as if your image is drawn in colored pencil, obviously. You have different sliders for each one. Pencil width, stroke pressure, paper brightness. Play around with them until you get an effect you like. That's kind of fun. Cutout makes it look like paper cutouts. Simpler the edge, the more like paper it looks. You can have, looks like up to 8 levels, edge fidelity. You'd start getting some fun things. I'd say your guideline up until now has been to try to make the image, retain the image fidelity. I think now that when we're getting into the filter gallery, you can let go of that idea a little bit. You don't have to say, well, I still need to be able to recognize my friend. You can say, well, we're now applying artistic effects. And give myself a little bit more license. So I like this one, the cutout. I'm going to hit OK. That's my cutout version. I'm going to save this as File, Save As, my image 6. I would like you to, and then close it, reopen image 2, which, as you remember, your retouch color corrected. Go back to the filter gallery. Let's try some others. There are so many different filters in here. These are just the artistic. You can make it look sponge painted, underpainted, watercolors of favorite of mine. I kind of love the way the watercolor filter looks. Play around with, I highly recommend you try them all. Try all of these. Neon Glow is kind of fun. You know, makes it look kind of like a, 80s sci-fi movie. I recommend that you play around with them all until you find an effect that you like. You're gonna save your 4 favorites as images 6, 7, 8, and 9. So try them all, save your favorites. So here's the Neon Glow, looks like, from the movie Predator. You can adjust the glow color. See what an orange glow looks like. Yeah, it's pretty fun to play around with. So if any of you get a job designing an album cover for your friend's band, remember the Neon Glow. It can be really fun. Remember not just the Neon Glow, but remember the filter gallery, because you can get all kinds of cool stuff here. So this first section is artistic. It makes it, different simulations of different artistic effects. I'm going to hit OK on my Neon Glow. I'm going to save this one as number 7. Save as image 7. I want to make it clear you do not have to do the effects I'm showing in this video. Play around with different filters. Choose your 4 favorites. Make those images 6, 7, and 8, 9. Just like the duotone, you don't have to choose the color that I chose. I'm just demonstrating. This one, you choose the effects that you like the most. Play around with them. Get to know them. Also, take note. Take note of which effect you use, which filter you use for each of your images 6 through 9. All right, you're going to have to, in part 2, tell me what filters you used. All right, so we have brush strokes, more painterly effects, distort, distort glow. Glass is a favorite of mine. Makes it look like you're looking through a sort of a frosted glass. Ocean ripple. Sketch ones are fun. They sort of can look like different effects. Now, you may be wondering, why is it going to orange and green? All of our little previews here are black and white. Why are they all orange and green? And that's a good question. And this is what I think is happening. Okay, so my foreground and background color are green and orange. Now, just for fun, I'm going to set the foreground to red and leave the background as yellow. I'm going to go back to the filter gallery. Just a note, up here when you see filter gallery, the one that's at the top is whatever the last effect you apply is. It just applies it again without giving you any control. So that's why here I'm going to filter gallery instead of the top one. So now, you see I'm now in my, let's go back to our sketch, charcoal. It's now yellow and green. I'm sorry, red and yellow instead of green and yellow. So what it's doing is it's applying all of these effects, but it's using your foreground and background colors. Okay? So if you are not liking the colors that are showing up in any of these distort filters, hit cancel, go back, adjust your foreground and background. All right. If you wanted, like, let's say I want to make one that looks very photocopied. I want to make it look like a punk rock album from 1979. I would make it black and white, and I would go to my photocopy and in black and white, and well, that actually looks pretty good for a photocopied image. It looks a little posterized, you know, maybe bring up the darkness will make it look a little bit more punk rock, although maybe stamp is actually closer to the photocopied effect that I'm thinking of, you know. So, yeah, that looks more like an old Clash album cover. All right, so this is, it's based on your foreground and background color of your document. So I'm going to save this as my image 8. Close out of this, reopen image 2, filter gallery, play around with it some more for my final image. At the risk of repeating myself, I want you to try all of the filters. Try them all. Choose whatever you like. These texture ones are really fun, actually, at the bottom. So don't miss out on them. And make it look like a mosaic. This patchwork sort of looks like it can look like a mosaic. It can also just look like pixel art. You know, I like the stained glass a lot. This is really kind of fun. Maybe I'll do stained glass for my last one. So, for images 6 through 9, I cannot emphasize this enough. 2 things. Try all the filters, choose the 4 that you like best. Don't copy what are in these videos just out of hand. You don't have to match what I did. Don't copy what's in the brief just out of hand. You don't have to match what I've done. Play with them all, choose your favorites. The other very important thing to emphasize is take note of which filters you used. You're going to need to know it for part 2. All right, so this is my image 9. I've now done part 1 of project 3, and I am done with the video.